Hey there, welcome at MBC Africa. This is Easy Likes OnFocus Show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out these shows. Today we are going to discuss about something everyone is waiting for, and this thing everyone know it, and everyone has ever experienced this topic today, and most of you are in the topic. So I introduce to you my guests. This is Yugaman, this is Chantel at MBC Africa today. So our story today, our topic is about relationships. Guys, what are relationships? Today we are going to discuss a few of them, the key points in relationships, and we have also, they will be telling us what do they expect in relationship. So turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out this show. I'll be right back. So what do you understand by the word relationship? Mr. Yugaman.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Easy. Very happy to be here. So relationship, I'll put it simply, it's an understanding. It's an understanding between two or more people, by the way. You know, but the easier one is it's an understanding between two people.
Yeah.
That's the basic definition I can give you. And the relationship comes with agreement, agreeing on certain things. Also, it comes with understanding for these two parties that are agreeing. Basically, that's what I can say. That's what a relationship is. So this relationship could be romantic. It could be, you know, these days people call it, I don't want to call it an extra marital affair or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But people have all these things going on in the community, you know, where you find one person maybe has a relationship with two people or whatever it is, which is, I don't encourage that, but I mean, yeah, that's what basically I can say about a relationship.
Madam Chantel, what do you understand by the word relationship?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Actually, you can tell me what is a relationship, because I don't know what a relationship is.
Are you sure?
Yes, I don't know.
Have you ever been in a relationship?
With who?
I don't know. Your boyfriend?
I don't know if I've been in a relationship.
Wow, this is Chantel Miraz. Yeah, she has never been in a relationship. Is it true?
Yeah.
Or it's just you wanted to cover up all your...
No, I've never been in a real relationship, but I'm in partnership with someone.
So guys, Chantel, she's in partnership, not in a relationship. Okay, can you tell us about your partnership? How
My
is it?
partnership?
Yes.
I'm with someone. It's a long distance relationship.
Wow.
And I am very happy. 3 years down the road.
And you're still...
Yes.
I'll take it as a super point.
We've never had any conflict. I've never had any misunderstanding.
Hold on. Now, which conflicts are you talking about? Because you guys, you are in different areas. Like
when
countries.
it comes to two people in relationships or whatever you call it, even if I call you and you don't pick up, I have to think otherwise. What I understand in a relationship is if I take a day or 24 hours, when you're not replying me, you'll have to answer why.
Wow. Mr. Yugaman, what do you talk about that?
Come again with that question. I need to make sure I give the right answer.
Okay.
I told him, let me even talk.
Okay.
I've told him there are things that keep a relationship. It's not all about sex and what. Communication is the key. I've told him I've been in a relationship, long distance relationship, for 3 good years. But I've never got any misunderstanding with my man. You get it?
Yeah.
And I told him because we do this and this and this. But he asked me, why do people have misunderstandings in a relationship? First, I told him it's communication. That is one thing that disorganizes the whole trust. And how can I call you for a full day and you don't pick up? How can I text you and you don't reply back? So one thing I did in my relationship is communication and understanding my man's program. If I send a message, he doesn't reply, I think he is busy. I put that in my head.
So communication is your superpower?
Yes. I don't misunderstand any sign. If he doesn't reply, when he gets time, he will reply. When I call, he doesn't pick up. Instead of saying, hey, I don't know what you're doing, maybe you're cheating on me, I'm like, hi, babe. I called you didn't pick up, but please, I just wanted to know if you're fine. Please reply me if you're fine. That's all.
Okay,
And I can
Mr.
even
Yugaman.
show you the proof on my phone. It's what I do.
So, Mr. Yugaman, so what excuse? You know, men, we have some excuse. So what excuse do you give your lady?
Practically, I haven't probably had that. No, I've traveled, but just for a short time and then come back home. I have also, personally, I'm actually not good at texting.
Okay.
So it is known.
Hard.
It is known. But of course, basic texting I do, and I make sure that communication flows. But if say for example, I end up forgetting to communicate, I think saying the truth sometimes actually saves you a lot.
Free,
Yeah, because when you're in a relationship, if I haven't called you and I was supposed to call you, say, maybe 2 hours ago, if I tell you that I have had a busy day or I was chasing something, I feel it brings more equitable conversations to table than me trying to forge a reason to tell you why I didn't call. Because even tomorrow it could happen. Or say I've taken a train and I fell asleep. I didn't call you when I was on the train or something. So for me, I'll say the truth. I'll tell you, this is what happened. And because I treasure what you perceive after I have told you. And then in a relationship, it's very hard to maintain lies. That's one of the things that always throws people off. So if I'm supposed to be calling, I'll make sure that I tell you the truth. And definitely, if there is any challenge that could prompt me to lie, I don't think I would take it up, because lying is so hard to maintain.
Because you forget what
You forget. And sometimes it's so, because you see, every time you tell a lie, you become the first victim of your own lie.
Some people can
the
keep
thing.
the lie for years.
It depends, but in a lot of pain, in a lot of struggle, because you see, you'll never have a free spirit. If I came here and I told you, Izzy, I like the way you do things, or I love your show, I love your channel. If I don't mean it, I struggle to maintain the love. I struggle to smile when I see your content. I struggle to comment. But deep down in me, I know I am actually struggling. And every time someone is struggling, you become less productive. That's the thing. So even in a relationship, people fail out on jobs because you have issues you haven't solved.
So, Chantel, long distance relationship.
Yeah.
How has it kept you in the real straight line?
They don't. I don't know if he lies to me, but I don't lie.
That you don't lie.
If I'm going out, actually, I tell him, man, brother, I'm going out. He doesn't care. He only asks, are you fine? Because I don't take wine, I don't take anything. So when I send him a pic like this, I'm taking sodas like, what would I want? You're taking sugars.
Yeah.
We are open. I know what he wants. He knows what we want. The only thing you have to do in a relationship is adjustment. There's a problem these days that women, we are selfish.
Yes.
When you come to me, I want to tell you what I want. I want you to adjust for me. I will never adjust for you.
And
You know
that was my question, my second question. Like, what do women want and what do men want in a relationship?
You just find yourself in a relationship and actually I don't like that. I can't even point out, I can't give you a list of what I don't want and what I want. But I'll always tell you on the way that I don't like this, I like this. So when you go in a relationship with yoga man and he tells you, me, I work at night, adjust. Put it in your head that he has been there for me. You tell him I don't want this house, I want the other house. He's going to adjust. Agenda afuna enyumba nga ya mitwalo ana naye nga badde asubira enyumba ya mitwalo anga. But just because he loves you, will always adjust to what you want. But what are you going to put on the table? Actually,
As
some people,
lady.
we don't put anything on the table.
But ladies,
Actually,
what do you
some
put
people-
on the table?
Nothing.
for
When
men?
we can even sell the table.
Yoga man.
There is something that has been moving on social media, fear women.
Yeah.
You seen that?
So I think asagala kwewaana, but I think I'm proud of myself. I'm proud
in your
that
relationship.
when I get a partner, I always want to adjust.
So I want to ask this question. What do you look for in a relationship? First of all, before starting the, I have a boyfriend, I have this. What do you look for in a relationship?
Money.
She has said it.
Unfortunately, men can't look for money in a relationship. But I think personally, one of the things that I looked out for, because I'm already I'm already in the process. One of the things that I looked out for is I needed someone who would support me to become a better person.
Which side of support? Financially?
All across. Because you see, every time you single-handedly do things, you lose out on some values that someone would have brought to the table. And then, every time you have two heads, you have four hands. Now, as men, we sometimes need someone to just help you put things in order. And I'll tell you this, when you get back to the house after you're tired, there are things you're not gonna do. There are things, even just naturally, when men walk back to the house, it's very rare to carry the shoes to the shoe rack, to put the socks where they're supposed to be, to put everything where it's supposed to be. So meaning, that's the first level of organization. You're not going to be out there hustling to look for money, and then you come back home, you come back to a shack that is disorganized. Yeah? You're not going to be there saying, I have made money and I want to invest it, and you want to put other people into that money when you need someone who you should be trusting. So for me, the relationship that I needed was one that could complement me to become a better person. That is one. Number two is I needed to learn how to coexist with people, because you see, relationships are natural. You can't run away from it. You see, when we're young, sometimes you're like, no, when that time comes, I'll do it. When that time comes, I'll do it. But the more you keep postponing, when you're ready or of right age to do it, the longer it takes you to understand this other person. Because you see, we grew up from different areas. So sometimes I wanted to put my character to a test. Can I be able to stay with someone? Can I be able to listen? Can I be able to be formed? Because God has gifted man and woman differently.
Yeah.
So women help us become better men and even more productive. That's if you don't meet the wrong one. But also, if you meet the wrong one and you intellectually detect that you've met the wrong person, then it's also up to you to make a move and move out of it.
How do you know that? How do you detect that this is a wrong girlfriend?
That's why we cohabit.
You see, by the way, that's a very, very good question.
Yes.
Now, I'll tell you this. Sometimes, naturally, you'll detect when things are going wrong. You find yourself you're off. You find yourself you don't care what happens. Whether they call you or not, you still feel it doesn't matter. When they do something wrong, you sometimes give up on them. You're like, that's them. I'll not. But when you really care about someone, it comes naturally. In a relationship that has not been forced, you will actually know when something is wrong. You will even detect when your partner is not doing well, or when there's some point of contention where you need to sort things out. Because relationships are not smooth at the end of the day. So the battles you go through, the hardships, the quarrels, the exchange is what strengthens you. Now, if those battles don't come forth, let me tell you, a relationship is too good to be 100% perfect. And if you are in one, my sister or my brother, first go back to the bedroom, look into that mirror and ask yourself, are things going right? Because by nature, we're totally different people. So we get in a relationship and there are things that can never be the same. If you find yourself you're doing the same things as your wife, as your partner, there's a problem. One of you is hiding something to impress the other. And impressions don't live forever. So it is easy to detect that. It's like having a girlfriend. If you write to them a text and they don't reply, If you call and they don't pick, once, twice, 3 times, you know there's a problem. Secondly, if someone starts to be violent, yeah, I used to call you, now I call you by name, I no longer call you honey, I no longer call you baby, I call you by name, and even when I make a call, it is a rough talk. Where are you? What are you doing? What did you do? What do we? You get? You have this exchange that does not add up to the way you've been living. So you start to detect. And the problem is, if you want to insist and stay there, you're still going to get into deeper trouble. Because you know, at the end of the day, like I said, no one has a best formula for relationships. But I think it's very important to look into your inner self. If you're going to spread love, you must love yourself first. You cannot extend what you don't have. So you can't love when you don't have love. For me, that's what I think. And the moment you find yourself not loving what you're doing, there's a problem. Start knowing that you're about to walk away. And to walk away, it's also very okay. Because at the end of the day, you're 2 old people that met from different backgrounds. So don't put your life on the line just because you want to impress someone. If things ain't working out and you've tried your best, give it another shot elsewhere.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe Chantal could have a different opinion or a different view. But
yes. Chantal, okay, apart from money, you said, when I asked you, like, what do you look for in a relationship? And you said money.
Saying your vehicle. So now here's the real deal. Yeah?
All right, yeah.
When you're going into a relationship, you don't want it to be just a relationship. You want it to be a lifetime relationship. That means you're going to get married to that person, have kids with that person. But don't look at love as I love this woman, bananga ina kabina. Eh? Look at the inner beauty of that person. The friendship.
What is the inner beauty?
But now, when you get me, Shantara ina kabina, Shantara ina him. Now that is okay for you. What about for your kids? Okay. Eh?
Yes.
What is the future? Njagala, even if we go out of love, there is that friendship between me and you. I love you and you love me too. The conversation is done. Ma njagala tugeye mikwano gye yugamba nyo mujjukira nyakoze bwati tubageyo twatwina mbozi mba njagala tubageye amanye buli kimu mugendo mutuukako nga muga ojjukira gundi yoyo biza munjika guna kuyimiza ko ne bwati yoyo nga twabageya kwate tugenda kubula mbozi tubogerako nga nine olugambo olwomuwa ku mikwano gya nze kinone kanji bagambe sigenda kubula mbozi gye ngenda nyumya na musajja wange nga nine mbozi y'abakyali bange. You know, that aside, I want to get a man.
You fat?
Eh? Yes.
Okay.
I want to get someone. Ngamba nti Izzy is an editor. Okay. He works with a TV station. But olumu akolera ewaka. How can I help him? Or how can he help me? Ngamba that is now adjustment still comes in. Ojja kunkubira simu ngambe Chantal oli wakanti. Wabula manchi wakola ntera ko computer eyo ozigulira wa Adobe agira akolaki agira yebikula kubanga sina time nange njagamba okay because I adjusted manyi Easy wateka ko computer manyi Adobe wali I'm going to help him. We are adjusting, we are working together, it's teamwork. What I want to tell women is omusajja wagamba nti naagala mukazi ayagala babeere bonna, there are things they are looking at. See money, because even if we have money, we can't give them money. Tetusobola. Nabo banyinti basobola zikizo okujja osanga omusajja ngakiriza ssente z'omukazi. Either abashuga mami oba omusajja abamusiba. Omusajja ategeera. Can't accept the girlfriend's money. Bali kyajja kukulangira. Nyakugamba oli mwavu, toyina ssente, nze mbadde nkubeezaawo, nja kukuvuma nkukole bwenti.
Hold on. Chantal, what you're meaning is like women should not give money to men. We can give men money, but we can't sustain it for a week. When banchi koze nensuka week, encha nja kugamba actually jana kiwulira bweru. Mukazi atandise complaining. Men can do it for years and years and years, and they don't complain. But a woman to take care of a man for a year, tekisoboka. Family eba yatudde dda. Ne Twitter family meeting na emikwano nga gikimanyi nti omusajja we talina makulu. And when he stays at home, a stay home dad,
mbanja mujoga ne waka muleka ngende mu bar. Cause I'm the man right now. So men, it's by the way, you're just angels. We should respect you people.
Guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out.
That's a very good statement.
Chantel, she's saying, women, guys, listen very well. Guys, I'm not saying on the side of the ladies, no. Guys, Chantel said, a woman to give a man money for a week, even the whole world can tremble and the whole world will hear about it. But when a man gives a lady money for years and years and years, there's nothing to
actually
be talked about.
But it's your right.
It's a right to give a woman money. Yuga man, if you go home right now, right, you don't have any money, you don't have a job, right, but you have to provide for the family. Your wife has a job, is paid very well, you know.
Yes.
What takes, okay, what is the, I don't know how to ask it, but how does a woman, like some of the women, let me say some of the women, if you are not working, she will not give support to the family
for the first month.
For the first month, have you heard? Women, we do it for years and years.
And even if I'm working and in a sente nyinja, I'll come back and ask for money. Jagala sibanvi. Wongamba nti nkuole sente emitwalo ebiri nenzikuwa. The first question, ozikomya out.
Jesus. Guys, ladies, let me say, ladies are they wicked or they have the other mentality of being given, not for them, like not them to provide.
We are Africans.
But why do you adopt Western cultures? No, first of all, Western cultures. You know, in Western cultures, women can support, right, for even a year throughout if the man doesn't have. In Africa, women of Africa, they know how to adopt the dressing code, to adopt how to spend money, you know, because when they see the Western guys, when they are ladies, when they are posting nice pictures, going to fields, having fun, that's what they want. But
yeah. Easy.
Yes.
So n'abazungu benyini nyini bogamba nti they don't. They do. That is women.
But they look for solutions for their.
After we just move on. Omusajja talina future.
Guys, you've heard. Chantel just moves on.
If you don't have a job in Uganda, if you don't have money, you lose value as a man.
So you don't look at the relationship the way. So you mean women are ready to leave their families because the man is not working?
The bottom line was money.
Where are we going?
I think we are in trouble.
Sure.
We are in very big trouble.
So in the relationship, I say, as a woman, be with a friend.
But let me tell you, Yugamane, you know, we men, we are in trouble. How? If you don't provide, that's trouble. When you go to the club, as she said, when me and Chantel, we are in a relationship, then me, as a man, I tell Chantel, have you seen that babe? It will be trouble. But for her, it's normal. What is the meaning of that? Because it's like women, we are just like, you know, it's a playground.
I think actually she has a point. At some level, you've got to share the fun.
Yes.
You've got to share the fun. I think between me and my partner, I think we've ever had a conversation about what we are saying. Or sometimes when we are at a party,
yes, That's
so
okay.
it becomes fun. But the problem would be you as the man starting to sight out hot chicks and hot babes. That could lead you into trouble. Because you see,
trouble.
Women are very emotional human beings. And for them, it's not what you're thinking inside. Because for us men, we always want to test and we have something hidden deep we don't want to show. Like even some of us don't know how to express love and happiness in public. A woman knows it. So the woman will take what your impression is and what you're showing them physically. So by you saying, look at that hot girl, the word hot could actually result into serious trouble. But also, the more you point, the more she starts now to relate. If she's ever seen you, maybe you're working at a certain company and there's this girl who behaves exactly like the one you showed her, or who looks exactly like the one you showed her, it's gonna start psychologically eating her up.
This is Easy Likes at MBC Africa. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, turn on your notifications. Guys, I will remind you always, as in always, because here are my visitors, Yoga Man and Chantel. We were discussing about relationship. Last question about relationships. There's something going on in the world. There's something going on in Africa. We are in Uganda, Kampala, the Pearl of Africa. Guys, if we talk about relationships and homosexuality, you know, our show we started as relationships.
Yes.
And I wanted, before we go to that side of homosexuality, what are the benefits of relationships to the world? Nothing.
Okay.
It's personal.
I think the real foundation of community building and society building starts from relationships.
Yes.
If you have a community where relationships are going wrong, violence, intimidation, a lot can happen in communities. Murders can go on, silent death can go on, mental illness can eat the entire community and finish you up. So, good relationships build solid communities. Because if two people are existing in a community that is very understanding, it is most likely that that community is actually going to pick from that. But if a community is existing with a violent relationships going on, take for example, where men beat women, women beat men, mothers, you know, butter their kids, such a community can never be harmonious. So relationships, in fact, me, this is what I think, that a good relationship created creates more other good relationships in the environment. A violent relationship created creates more violence and a lot of mental disorders. Because, trust me, a woman who leaves house after being beaten or kicked can never go to the office and be productive. In fact, she will go and transfer the anger onto someone else. And even that person, so it's going to be a cycle of spreading anger from one person to another, to another, to another. Whereas if there is a good relationship, if Chantal is happy and she leaves home happy, it's most likely that everybody she's going to interact with on that day is going to be happy. Because it's coming off her. But if there is violence coming out of her, violence is going to take up even the office space. I don't know if you've walked into any office and you start to imagine if this person is okay. It means these people maybe have a big problem, and probably where they came from has a very big issue. Also, sometimes people have this stereotype of saying people from this part of the world or this part of the country are like this. That is as a result of relationships that people have witnessed. So if people have witnessed women from different parts beating men, They will tell you that this part of the country, when you get a woman from there, get ready to be slapped. That psychologically creates a society that fears violence, but also limits how people now interact with you because of that stereotype. So relationships really are the real epitome of a peaceful society, a peaceful home, and a peaceful home is the real epitome of a peaceful nation, by the way.
If we talk about the culture of Africa, the culture, it's a big thing. The way we speak, the way we dress, the way we raise our kids, the way we handle our family issues. What can you say about the Western culture coming into African culture? For example, dressing code. We no longer put on our dressing code. What do you talk about the adoption of that?
I think Chantal had...
There's something I wanted to add on before we went on this.
Okay.
It's an addition. Have you ever been at work and she's not happy, and the next day she comes when she's happy? The first thing we tell her, I think someone got some good sex. Like, yeah, you know. Let me tell you, the guy came. Oh my God, like, I'm just adding on what you said. Olabo mukazi nga musanyu for the whole day. Oh my God, you just know. Secondly, mulekera okuzala abaana ebbali ne mubaleeta ewaka. After bringing them, you make us unhappy. So whatever you do, make someone to be happy. Whatever happy, there's a child torture, child abuse, ajja kwokya omwana. Owulira omukazi nti yassa omwana lwakuba bbaawe yayenze.
But men they're supposed to...
Tetubaganye. If you do that, compensate.
The African way.
No.
Yeah, in the African way, by the way.
I've accepted
African way, men should...
Nchikiriza, I've accepted it. You brought the kid at home.
Yes.
One thing you should do is don't make me mad.
Okay.
Okay, so you've mentioned cultures. One thing I need to let you know. The good thing, this is a relationship show.
Yes.
We may not be experts of the subject matter, but we see what's going on. And some of us have tested relationships. But I can tell you, like globally, between Africa and every other part of the world, there's a culture war. And the war is on. So the things you're talking about, dress code, our academic system, how the community is formed, how this influence penetrates governments and, policy making and all this, it's a culture war. So there is point A who thinks they are superior. Why are they superior? Because they think they are more civilized, more exposed, and they have created point B to become their subject, to become their student. Everything we do is what is good for you. It's a big war that it has so many faces that sometimes you can't even fight. And I'll just give you an example. Feminism has become a real huge war in Africa. A lot of people today struggle, even women, to be who they are supposed to be in the African culture. But they have a lot of pressure and a lot of learnings from the feminists who have now...
When you speak about feminists, what do you intend to mean?
I mean women who actually consider that they can do everything a man can do, that they are supposed to be equal to men. Literally, there is nothing a man can do that a woman can do. That's feminism. And they believe that probably they should even be more powerful than men. You understand? So in African culture, women are supposed to be submissive, and women are trained even from the age when they're still young to be submissive. travel from West Africa to North Africa to Southern Africa to East Africa. That's the culture we have. Now, here is a student who is at university and is being taught feminism. That you and your father are equal. That you and your husband are equal. You and your brother can climb a tree, you can climb a tree too. Your brother can ride a bicycle, you can ride a bicycle too. So now people have that war going on within them. And a lot of relationships are failing because of that, by the way. Now, you've talked about homosexuality. So because of the point A, I talked about this group of people who feel superior and they think they are supposed to teach. You see, we have a very big disadvantage as people with the skin. And we can't run away from it. Many times people try to shun away that, no, there is no racism, there is no this, there is no that. People have been trained in institutions of academics to feel inferior before I wanted to use a term that doesn't segregate. I don't want to say before the white people, but I'll call it maybe before the colored skin people. All right? Because you've seen the same behavior that maybe people in Europe, when they used to treat Africans. You must have watched these videos. Today the Chinese want to behave the same before blacks. The Indians adopted the same thing simply because they have a different skin color, so they think they are superior to the black skin. And now everything a black person is doing is trying so hard to fit into the white culture. And that is where the problem is. Homosexuality and all those things, it's not African. It's not African at all. Probably, if you go back, read the history about World War II and all those things, when people now moved from one part of the world to another, crossing, and how this whole thing has been formed. It's something that the Western world found useful as a weapon to achieve certain things. And it's destroyed our cultures, it's destroyed families. That's why, let me tell you this, by the way, this is an open secret to all people who are not yet in relationships. Holding a relationship today is very expensive and very hard, given the community we're living in. It only takes an individual who has a deeper insight to understand this. Because our girls, the ladies that are coming out of universities, some even tell you proudly, I can't be a wife.
I don't have wife materials.
I don't want to have kids. Now, this was an African. How do you talk about a situation where you're from university and you say you can't have kids? Why? Because you feel getting pregnant and going through that process is too painful. Men should also be able to experience that pain. Two, you feel it is waste of time because you want to become a corporate, you want to go make more money, so you getting pregnant looks like a burden. But do you know what makes it a burden? Because the Western culture has taught you that for us we can even freeze our eggs. We can even do this. You can get pregnant at any time. You can have someone else. Yes. And this is now. So there is that battle. So today, having a successful relationship is too hard. Even for people in the spotlight, journalists, musicians, even presidents. Because as you try to nurture, someone else is telling your wife that become a feminist. Today, ladies like Chantal here can wake up and tell you, I'm now the man in the house. I have seen stories in the US where a Ugandan couple has left and it was behaving African. When they reach the US, the woman becomes the husband in the house. Why? Because the US culture now gives her powers to dictate. So it's a huge thing. Maybe sometime we could look into it also, how people can be able to adapt, but there's a big war. And for us to have a proper community, I think really we need to delve into this. Tuyino kutunula mbintu bino. Kubanga kati abasajja tutya n'abakazi. Tubatya omusanga mu office n'oyita eri. Tetukyabagambako tubatya. Awo omusiye omugambe ki. Bwakutwala ku police nti omuyabadde. Tubatya kwegamba. So because of that culture, we found that now forming relationships, successful relationships, are so hard and so costly. Chovala abasajja abamu beemalamu bambi n'atuuka n'akaba amaziga n'agamba bannange omukyalo yo namuwa buli kimu naye abakyala baagala ki. Ennaku zino ku social media mbadde ndaba akagambo fear women.
Yeah, yes.
During day. I mean on social media, but at night.
Come back home.
You come back.
Fantastic.
You can come back home and they have prepared you something very hot.
You come back home.
Yeah.
Women are wicked.
Yes.
But I think we can actually, because
We are bad, but you like us.
relationships, I think there is a lot that we can be able to put on table. One thing I can promise you is maybe one time I could get you. There are people I know who are masters of this subject, and maybe they could enlighten us, because you see, some of us, we learn from what our forefathers did.
Hello, Pastor. There's this pastor once I saw your status.
Yes.
Don't know what's that. Yes.
Yes,
He's so good.
He's so good. Actually, we could contact him
Yes,
because
he's so
actually
good.
he's also so good
He has
in a
fought
way,
the battle.
that he will tell you about the cultural war that Africans experience every single day. From the day you enter school to the day you graduate, you are in a fight. And that's how we Africans have spent countless years fighting inner wars that don't let us prosper.
Now, the president of Uganda, a few days back, was it 2 days?
29.
Yes.
Yeah, he came out and signed the law.
Yes.
The most of the media houses, they call it anti-gay. Yet, what is anti-gay and homosexuality? Because
So there is
we are confused, for sure. We are confused
it's a game of jargons. It's a game of twisting words. It's the same thing like telling you, if I get you doing this, you've committed a crime of this magnitude. And also it's different when I come and tell you what you're doing is wrong, it is illegal. I mean the same thing but expressed in different ways. Yeah? So when people use the word gay, they make it unacceptable. Like acceptable, like it's okay. The word homosexuality is something people adapt. Is a culture people go into. Whereas the word gay, it is believed according to the definition that a gay person is born that way.
And
so they coin the word homosexual and use, because our law is anti-homosexuality law, not anti-gay.
Okay,
law.
what does it mean? Because we can hear the words like the law.
So what
the
makes
name.
it? So when you hear people talk about human rights,
Yeah.
they
That's where
avoid
the
using the
problem
word
comes.
homosexual and use the word gay, because gay is perceived to be a natural status. And therefore, when you say anti-gay, you're going against the natural status. And that is why they use the word you are violating human rights. When you use the word anti-homosexuality, their coining of you're violating human rights will not work. Why? Because homosexuality is just like learning anything else that people can teach you or people can train you. Therefore, there is no way you say, if I refuse you to eat pork, because maybe I think pork has a problem, or because I want you to live a certain way, there's no way you can say, you've taken away all my rights. It's because you adapt. There are people who are vegetarians. By being born in a family that is vegetarian doesn't mean that they are violating your rights. It's the cultural values that you've been born into. So, intentionally the media avoids using the other word, homosexuality, and they use gay because it works for I will not call them promoters, but the people that promote that culture, it works for them. Because when you say anti-gay, it's like, I'm stopping you from naturally living who you are. Does it make sense now? Like, if you look at it. So that's why the media continues to use that phrase, because it empowers the community that supports these acts.
So, in the Gay Act, let me call it like that, this is the natural born.
No, we don't have the gay act. We have the homosexuality.
No, I mean,
law here.
the guys, the promoters. Okay, the way you've said it, they want it to be called the gay act.
They don't want it. That's what they call it.
Anti-gay.
Yeah, that's what they call it
when
because
we call
they.
it anti-gay,
Yes.
these are the people. Like for us here, we call them. Or is it boy, girl, or does it go in that?
I wouldn't want to go so much into that, but the thing is, the people that have been taken into that culture are trained to behave that anyone that says anything against what you believe in is naturally has a problem.
It's a religion now.
It's not even a religion.
It's a
They
cult.
think we are mentally sick, those who don't accept what they are doing. So they think we are mad, that we can't believe that it's okay for a man to go marry a man, that it's okay for a woman to go marry a woman. And they have coined it in such a way that it becomes a defensive mechanism. That's why if someone asks you that this is a human rights thing, they must call it anti-gay for them to stand on that statement that it's a human rights thing. Otherwise, if they say and homosexuality, because homosexuality is adopted. The president the other day was saying it's people can come out of it, people can go into it. That's why even this
Or
law,
live into it.
this law is providing a section where you can go and be rehabilitated. You must have had that. So rehabilitation centers are going to be set up, or if they're already there, they're helping these people to come back to a normal life. You understand? But for them to be able to make sense of what they're trying to portray the law as, they must call it anti-gay. And that you can't take out. And if you look at all their statements, just look at how the media houses are writing these stories. You will find that what, because that is the jargon they have coined that defends them when it comes to this debate.
All right, don't forget it's MBC Africa OnFocus Show. Today our story is about relationship and a little bit of homosexuality law in Uganda. Madam Chantel, what do you speak about your last remarks?
About?
The whole show.
I will talk about relationship because homosexuality, has said it all, I can't add in.
All right.
So relationship, like you said, I don't call it that, but it's an understanding between two adults. And if you want to go in marriage, it's like you adopting someone's son. So when you adopt that man, make him your son. Yeah? But they are not old. They always want to be taken care of. Wajja from work, here's a kavera, go pick it. Kino kigenda mu fridge kiteekeyo, kino kigenda mu kisenge kiteekeyo. Noli asobola okukwata kavera nga wokaleese n'okateeka mu fridge.
For sure.
So relationship. So women, I'm not married, though our advice, but it's what I'm going to use. Nature make money. Women make money.
That's the problem.
I'm telling
in
you, here is what
relationship.
where I'm coming.
Okay.
When you get money and you visit your husband's side, they'll respect you.
Oh.
Just make money. They will respect you. No. Just make money. The rest will come.
Guys, we shall be back with that topic of the way Chantel has said, because this is really, it's so sensitive to women, like the men. If they have money, they will disrespect us. So guys, don't forget, this was Yuga Man and this was Chantel. MBC Africa OnFocus.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.